What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, had a special request, had to check this quick video out. Got evidence the US is not a democracy. Princeton University study. I think this is going to be very interesting, and we finna jump into this. So y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations.
For the last few years, I've had this sense that everything I learned as a kid about how America's government works is completely wrong. But I had no idea how bad things actually were until I saw this one graph. Researchers at Princeton University looked at more than 20 years worth of data to answer a pretty simple question. Does the government represent the people? Now, this is what they found. This axis here represents public support for any given idea. On the left at 0% are ideas that not a single American wants. On the right at 100% are ideas that everyone supports. This axis represents the likelihood of Congress passing a law that reflects any of these ideas, from a 0 to a 100% chance. On this graph, an ideal republic would look like this. If 50% of the public supports an idea, there's a 50% chance of it becoming law. If 80% of us support something, there's an 80% chance. You get the idea. Now, most Americans would probably agree that, with a few exceptions, we should be as close to this ideal as possible. Unfortunately, the way America actually works doesn't even come close. Take an idea that nobody supports, literally nobody, and it has about a 30% chance of becoming federal law. Now, take an incredibly popular idea, the most popular idea this country has ever seen, and there's also about a 30% chance of it becoming law. This means that the number...
I just feel like, I mean, they make decisions, they ask for people's opinions, but I feel like they're just asking to make it seem like they support what their opinion, but in the end, they just make their own decisions out here.
Also about a 30% chance of it becoming law. This means that the number of American voters for or against any idea has no impact on the likelihood that Congress will make it law. Put another way, and I'm just going to quote the Princeton study directly here, the preferences of the average American appear to have only a minuscule, near zero, statistically non-significant impact upon public policy. So if you've ever felt like your opinion doesn't matter and that the government doesn't really care what you think, well, you're right. But there's a catch.
I ain't gonna lie, I've kind of been saying that for a long time here now, you know, because people say, like, your vote matters. Maybe somewhere else it does, and maybe in different certain topics, certain laws and stuff it does. But I feel like most of the time in America, they're just gonna do what they want to do.
Doesn't really care what you think. Well, you're right. But there's a catch. This flat line only accounts for the bottom 90% of income earners in America. Economic elites, business interests, people who can afford lobbyists, they get their own line. Look at how much closer their line is to the ideal. When they want something, the government is much more likely to do it. And when they don't, they have the power to completely block it from happening.
Which makes sense. That's why I said Donald Trump, I ain't never heard him being political or anything like that. And he became president. Money. He had money. He had elite representation.
More likely to do it. And when they don't, they have the power to completely block it from happening, no matter how much the rest of the country supports.
That's crazy.
They get what they want, and guess who ends up paying for it? We pay for it with the most expensive healthcare in the world. We pay for it with a tax code that's a complete mess. We pay for it with internet that's slower and more expensive, with wasteful spending, a floundering education system, a catastrophic drug war, and 1 in 5 American children born into poverty. Almost every major issue we face as a nation can be traced back to this graph. How does this happen? Well, just follow the money. Right now, it's perfectly legal to buy political influence in America. Here's how it works. Let's say a big bank wants a law that would force taxpayers to bail them out again if they repeat the exact same reckless behavior that crashed the global economy in 2008. Not exactly the most popular idea with the public, and Congress knows that. That should be the end of it. But that's where the money comes in. It's perfectly legal for our bank to hire
That's
a team of
crazy.
lobbyists whose entire job is to make sure that the government gives the bank what it wants. Then those lobbyists can track down members of Congress who regulate banks and help raise a ton of money for their re-election campaigns. It's perfectly legal for those lobbyists to offer those same politicians million-dollar jobs that they're lobbying for.
Crazy.
Then those lobbyists can literally write the language of this new bailout law themselves and hand it off to the politician they just buttered up with campaign money and lucrative job offers.
And that it is a lot of money that go into these campaigns. That's why money is the influence. America is not influenced by the people, it's influenced by ching
It off to the
money.
politician they just buttered up with campaign money and lucrative job offers. And it's perfectly legal for those politicians to take the lobbyist written language and sneak it through Congress at the last second.
Wow.
So now you've got a law that greatly benefits the banks and the whole process can start over. This is how a bill becomes a law. A special interest hires some lobbyists. Those lobbyists collect campaign contributions, offer jobs, and then write the laws that Congress then passes to help those same special interests. This happens every day on
That's
every single
crazy.
issue with politicians of both parties.
Yeah.
In the last
I always said it's an agenda. It's an agenda at hand. You know, both parties, they have certain agendas that they want to, want to make happen. Because if a Republican was to get in, do their time, guess what? If a Democrat get voted in, the next after that term is up, they're just gonna undo stuff. It's like a do undo process every time because nobody is on the same page.
5 years alone, the 200 most politically active companies in the United States spent $5.8 billion influencing your government. Those
Crazy.
same companies got $4.4 trillion in taxpayer support. And that's trillion, with a T. And that's just
my
the top
God.
200 companies. Never mind every other special interest, every union, every trade association, and every billionaire.
Crazy.
Every single one of them can use their money to buy political influence. There's this idea out there
my
that this only
gosh.
became a problem after the Supreme Court's Citizens United decision in 2010. But the data goes back almost 40 years, and
Wow.
the results are clear. Corruption is legal in America. And as long as it is, anyone who can spend money to buy political influence will. The
Oh my
solution here
gosh.
isn't rocket science. Make corruption illegal. We already know Congress won't do it. I mean, one look at this chart will tell you that. What we need is a plan that lets us go around Congress and do what the American people do best. Fix this mess ourselves. Well, good news. We have that plan and it's already working. Now that we've got the problem covered, let us show you how to be part of the solution.
Dang. We definitely need a lot of solutions out here because, dang, corruption is legal in America. Man, money is definitely the influence. Money, it's the love of money. The love of money causes corruption out here. That's crazy. That is crazy. But I mean, coming from Princeton University study, I would say this is pretty accurate, legit. There's some legitimacy here just because Princeton, I know that's a pretty, top college out there in the world. But y'all let me know what y'all think. This is definitely different. This ain't even out, but I feel like it's a lot of people that know this, but like, what can the people do? Like, no matter what the people do, like, it seems they're just going to make their own decisions. But that's all I have for this video, guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.